What's going on, everybody? Kai Sasser here, and I am just bringing up a really important topic today about, I guess we can call it a long lost friend that we can't seem to get rid of, but its name is pain. And I was looking online, whatever, and decided, you know what? In my mind, pain comes in a lot of different forms. And from what I understand of the definition through the Oxford languages, they classify it as physical suffering or discomfort by illness or injury. And, that's all well and fine, but the basic human of today's society knows that, pain goes a lot farther than that. And I'll tell you why. Because the second definition speaks towards the careful effort or a great care of trouble, which means, in a way, somebody going to great lengths to achieve an outcome. Great lengths as in beyond measure. And there's certain things that come with that, even though that sounds like somebody who has ambition. I can definitely take a note from the second definition personally, because what it says, the similar words, care, effort, bother, trouble, labor, exertion, strain, struggle. Now keep in mind that, I'm walking along and I'm taking careful effort to watch my step or to not trip over the sidewalk, for instance. And taking this in mind, I'm taking great care into the way that I step. Hyper awareness. But if you understand it in the second definition of how it sees pain in a relation, I can take it further. I can definitely, in the verb sense, that's just the noun sense. The verb sense is, it says here, cause mental or physical pain too. Again, it doesn't just stop there. So obviously the Oxford languages are a little short in their literal definition of pain, but you can only you can only process things literally so far before you truly start missing out on the depth of things. And like it says, the definition too, if we look at the definition for what pain actually is, these similar words, the taking care, which is a strain, torment, that was the physical one. Exertion, labor, trouble, all those are words that people try to avoid. And the point I'm trying to make here is that people aren't simply avoiding pain, they're avoiding going to great lengths at doing anything because it hurts. It hurts to go the extra mile for somebody else. It hurts. And people don't want to feel that way. But I understand pain as something that we need to do, or need to at least bear witness to. So that was pretty interesting, and honestly I thought I would share that because I feel like I understand, especially the pain that isn't physical. The pain that isn't physical, I truly understand that more than most people. And the physical pain just doesn't really register with me just because of my nature and who I am and what I've grown to. And so, the thing about pain is basically it's the struggle of trying to achieve something greater than the normal feeling, and regardless of whether it's good or bad, the pain of getting there is always effort. It's always taking the trouble to. It's always, bothering, and so it's all pain. Labor. We already know what labor is, but labor is someone on a construction team, for instance, that goes to great lengths to make sure the leading team has everything they need. Like labor and actually doing something. Let's think of Labor Day, for instance. Well, that's basing it off of the struggle and the pain and suffering and the effort it took for people to, let's just say, live, hold down jobs, do normal things, whatever. But ideally, if you truly wanted to stop the pain, then understanding the care it takes to do that, the effort it takes is painful. And so that's why I say when that's when when a person is actually awakened, especially to themselves and to others, is they will take the effort and the extra initiative to bother. Why people ask why bother? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I'm not afraid of pain. I'm not afraid of rejection. I'm not afraid of the struggle. I'm not afraid of any of that. Anything could be said, done, heard, smelled, tasted, doesn't really matter, because all of it is seeking something that's greater than your baseline, which is always going to be a pain. Anything. If we cannot be content in one sense of now, then it's everything that's almost achievable even turns out to be pain. Everything that's never been achieved by a person ends up being the effort taken, ends up being the pain. It's pretty much the more we try to freaking change ourselves and break out and explode or whatever the hell these people are doing, the more we do that, the more of these similar words that describe pain, exertion, strain, struggle, effort, all those things, it happens. It's all a part of it. And for people to not be able to accept those things, they either are just afraid of it, or they don't understand truly why it's happening. The first sense, the physical suffering and discomfort caused by illness and injury, the similar words of suffering, agony, affliction, torture, torment, discomfort, all of those things are things that end up making someone stronger once they get through it. So this is just my note and my assessment of that word. I can always go deeper with the word because, take Ukraine for instance. That's a war-torn country, just in the sense that, the neutral countries are always the ones that get battered by the big ones. I don't think people understand truly how normal it is for them to be going through this and whatever this is, because it always happens. So it's just a matter of when, not if. And so, those little things. Belgium is another one. All those middling countries that didn't have anything to do with either side of one war, they had the most beat down. You know what I mean? They got beat down the most, and they endure a level of suffering and pain that, ideally I wouldn't even want to fight them. I wouldn't even want to be face to face in an aggressive way with them. Same with Russians too, because they may not suffer by being battered as victims. They are pretty much victims to the elements and the environment, which doesn't have anything to do with people, because everybody's suffering. So it's a really sufferable place to live, Russia. And these people have to be built a certain way in order to sustain life there. It's the same thing with everything else we inhabit. We do it all the time. It's just we adjust and overcome. That is the point. The struggle, the torment, the discomfort, the strain, the exertion, the affliction, the addiction, everything has to be overcame. And there isn't really too many other angles about it. The pain is necessary to even see which direction you're supposed to grow in next. If something doesn't make you hurt, you better start looking for something, because ultimately that thing, when it hits you and you feel the pain when you least expect it, the surprise of it will cause it to hurt more. And so, it's truly understand the depths of pain before one can understand their own level of struggle. And so that's all I wanted to say. I appreciate you listening. Peace.